right, let's move on. Autos as well in focus. Talk a little bit about the auto sales numbers. The first CNG bike that Bajaj Auto will be launching with none other than Rakesh Sharma, the ED at Bajaj Auto. Thanks so much for joining in. Lots to chat about, but let's begin with this CNG bike launch. Tell us a little bit more about the value proposition of this model versus the EV and the ICE models.
Good morning. Well, for the full lowdown, you'll have to come to Pune on 5th. By, I think, 2 p.m., we are unveiling the new bike. But for now, suffice it to say that it is really the outcome of a very intense exercise over the last 2-3 years, where, and I think we will be showcasing through this the power of innovation at Bajaj Auto. It addresses a very large market size. Almost 70% of the 1 million per month market of motorcycles is got some level of sensitivity to fuel economy. And our whole effort was that we have to make a significant difference to it. Otherwise, making an incremental difference, which we've been trying, gets us marginal benefits. People don't shift for incremental differences. And that is where our experience with CNG over the last 20 years through the three-wheeler came into play. We were the first to launch the RE, the three-wheeler based on the CNG fuel. So that cuts the fuel economy, that cuts the fuel expenses, which are, amongst the top 3 or 4 expenses of a household by almost 50%. So that's a significant saving. A very average customer who's earning 30,000 to 40,000 rupees per month can expect to save, depending on how much they ride, about 1,500 rupees per month. So that's a significant thing. Secondly, with all the thrust of the government and also with the companies on decarbonization, CNG, while still a carbon-based fuel, has got far less carbon content, and to that extent, it is much more beneficial from an environmental point of view than, let's say, a diesel or a petrol, particularly in the carbon-based emissions. So there is a significant reduction in that. Thirdly, we found that as we were doing this in parallel, there is a huge and brilliant effort by the Government of India, Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas, to drive the CNG network, which has been very successful. And in fact, our three-wheeler business has ridden on that. And today, 70% almost of the districts of India are covered by a CNG network. And all these gas distribution companies are looking for increased throughput so that their capex is there is a good return on their capex. And that is where there is a coincidental, but providential, but a very good alignment with the government thrust. And as we were doing this, we thought, let's bring to bear all our understanding in terms of what is the comfort requirement, what's the ergonomics, what's the sort of the way the people ride and the passengers ride. And let's bring all this together into this new bike. And that has all got packaged along with the 50% reduction in fuel expenditures.
Great. No, clearly it makes a perfect sense of, all the factors, the confluence of factors coming together, making a case stronger for such a bike, Rakesh. I want to understand with you, will this be that moment for the two-wheeler industry, just the way a few years back, when one of the passenger car manufacturers for the first time ever went ahead and launched CNG? I mean, a large section of the passenger vehicle market shifted towards CNG, be it for the commercial term, the taxi usage and many others, but it did indeed. Could this also be a very large shift, and to the extent that some of your own products could actually get cannibalized, but then still making commercial sense on larger scheme of things on volumes and profitability front for you?
Yes, you're absolutely right. Our expectation or our anticipation that this could be a pivotal point in the development of the two-wheeler industry in the country. And if we have to take the programs of the government at the face value, which I have no reason to disbelieve, which is that the network is going to grow even further and faster. Every month, 100 new pumps are being added. So that means CNG will have ubiquitous availability. At this point of time, our estimated is only 60%, but it'll go to 80%. So you can see that 70% of the 1 million people are at some level fuel efficiency sensitive. And almost 70% of the market of India is going to be covered. And that it could unleash this transition. But having said that, the pivotal point in this is change in customer behavior. That is what we have to see, because now the customer has to go to a different petrol pump. The customer has to be, getting used to a different kind of fuel and filling the fuel, etc. So there is a lot of response which the distribution companies also have to give as this market develops. So that is the one thing which we have to, we believe that we have made a really great movie, but ultimately let's see how the audiences clap or applaud at the end of the screening. So yes, but that is the one piece which we are finally waiting for. But I have no doubt in my mind that over a period of time, it's only the slope which one is concerned about, but it's over a period of time, there will be a significant shift, because 1,500 bucks per month is 1,500 bucks for a person in that category. And we have seen this happen in three-wheelers. For long, we hammered our head against the diesel three-wheeler, where we had a adverse competitive ratio, but we could not make breakthrough. We would not get dealerships in Bihar. But the moment a CNG pump arrived over there and people saw the Bajaj CNG was better, we were flooded with inquiries for dealerships, because people were shifting from diesel to CNG because they were saving that 1,000, 2,000 rupees per month. Of course, that's the commercial category. But to some extent, we have seen that happen in electric vehicles also. With electric vehicles, which are far more, there are far more sort of anxieties around the electric vehicle, charging, range, what will happen to the battery. But the saving of the day, the money of the day saving, that is so powerful a magnet that people have shifted from ICE vehicles to electric, despite all these question marks about where will I charge it, what will happen to the battery, is it safe, and all that. So it's a very powerful proposition, combined with the fact that it's not going to be an apologetic vehicle. It's going to be a vehicle which style and design is going to stand on its own. And it will also have, all the learnings of the last decade on what a person in a small town and a person of that riding habit really needs to make the ride comfortable. So it, I think, can be a pivotal moment, but we have to wait for how the customers respond to this behavioral change in terms of visiting different petrol pumps and the pattern of refueling and all that.
Absolutely. But, not the launch and not what the next 1 year is going to look like. The next 5 years, do you have export plans as well for the CNG bike?
See, the penetration of CNG, that way, India is very unique in that manner, the way the government, it's without parallel. There are a few countries, I would say, like Bangladesh is there is Egypt, now there is Tanzania, like in Dar es Salaam, you get excellent CNG network, but not outside Dar es Salaam in Tanzania. Then there is, I think, Peru, there is a little bit in Argentina also. So there are about half a dozen countries which could be, candidates for in the immediate. Beyond that, as to what individual country, Nigeria has started with CNG, but we'll have to see how their CNG distribution plans, roll out over the next 5 years. At this point of time, about 6 countries is what I would say can receive the product.
Our group is also abuzz with, the first glimpse of the CNG motorcycle that you guys have just released a video of. Any details that you want to divulge in terms of the name? Rumor has it that it's going to be called the Bruiser. Is that true?
Well, it's difficult for me to say anything on that because it'll take the thunder away from day after tomorrow. But Bruiser was the code name, and that much I can tell you that it is not going to be Bruiser. The brand name is something else. It's an evocative brand name, and it's going to be something else. It's a bike, like I said, which has got a very standard style. And then it has got biofuel capability in the sense that it has got both CNG and petrol. So that brings in a large amount of reassurance. And secondly, it also increases its range. With a full tank of CNG and a full tank of petrol, you can ride for a very, very long distance. So we wanted to that. It is taking care of a lot of ergonomic and comfort issues. And I can also tell you that it is, we will start with one or two products, but we intend, depending on how this thing is received, the pace at which it is being received, we intend to widen the portfolio. And we are also delighted that Mr. Gadkari is going to be there at the launch because he has been a champion for alternate fuels and decarbonization and sensitivity to the environment. And we are delighted that he will be there at the time of the reveal. So that is all what I can say right now without, taking the thunder away.
Right, Rakesh, thanks so much for joining us. Looking forward for this launch and, of course, being a part of it. Our colleague would be right there probing you much more in detail at Pune.
Right.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.